I don't want to go back! I remember nothing. Only the anthem.
Stars shooting past on all sides, weaving across the great void.
Casita, I know this prisoner, Bekarna. She presented her research to the Circle, but of course they laughed her out into the streets.
I don't know this sky. It doesn't have my stars. Can you help me find the sky again?
Her mind is broken. She cannot speak in plain terms. But her grasp on metaphor seems pretty sound.
Those are my words, but not my stars.
Wrong book, I think. Maybe something with charts and pretty pictures will calm her down.
Not that sky. This sky. The stars are all wrong up there. I have to make them right again. This prison hides understanding. Words are chained down. I am wrong inside. Only the stars can make me right again. A big hand snatched me away.
More metaphors. I can think of only one hand that fits the description.
I learned the secret. A real big one, or maybe just the beginning of one. The hand didn't like that. Great big hand. This place. One finger, yes? Many hands. Many fingers.
Despicable. How many brilliant minds have they destroyed in service of their mission?
Are we supposed to climb into this thing?
Some kind of Vithrak dumbwaiter. Perhaps we can make use of it.
You intend to put us in this sack, don't you?
Do we get to ride in it?
A free kithling stalks the nest, thoughtlessly killing Sisak's clutch. What is this one's purpose? Sisak asks. The kithling speaks properly, but its thoughts are clumsy, knotted weavings in Sisak's mind-ear. No. The kithling will use mouth sounds. Sisak will listen with his body ear. The kith is a meal escaped from the hoarder's nest. This one should have thought as much. Tender, juicy intruder cannot leave. Sisak must end its trespass. The contract says. The kith seems confused. Sisak will humor it. The sightless eye watches over Sisak's clutch, loves Sisak's clutch, gives this one fruitful layings and sweetest, juiciest morsels to eat. In exchange, Sisak kills the kith intruders. But soon, Sisak's clutch will leave. This one needs only wait until the Hoarder is grown thick and strong and screaming. Sisak's progenitor even signed stupid, flimsy Kith paper that says so. Then the smelly Kith could read of their own death before they experience it. No. If the Kith leaves to find the paper, then Sisak fails in his duty to the sightless eye. Sisak's hatchlings go hungry. The Kith dies now.
I ain't going to lie, Watcher. Everything that's happened since Gilded Vale, Deerford, Theos, Aethys getting up and stomping around, I think this moment might have made it all worthwhile.
A construct regulator. Arkmir tried to build one himself, but neither of us wanted to cut its nails or trim its fur. I seem to recall these controllers gather bits and pieces of leftover scrap from the work of knitting flesh and bone. Over time, they develop tumors, limbs, and even organs. Getting them to cooperate is not so simple as flipping a switch. Better to imagine milking a giant cow or petting a cat.
You saying this thing's just a big kitty? Think I'll stick with the normal shaped ones, with the fur and the tails and the little ears.
I recognize this. How familiar... Maura? No. Another outsider. Seems the Oracle needs to tighten her guard.
This one holds himself with a measure of authority. I don't like it.
Be on your guard. This man is a wizard.
Name yourself then. Out with it now. Do you think me a fool? Maerwald is the Watcher of Cadnua, for whatever good that ruined hovel has done him.
I fixed it up real nice, too. Can't say it's much to look at now, though.
Years? Years, then. Maura spoke true after all. Little matter. Allow me an idle moment's curiosity. Have you heard of the Archmage Fion Ledge? You truly do not recognize me? Then the effect is not localized. Neither limited to mine own mind, nor to Maura's. Unless, perhaps, could the Hand Occult have developed some manner of contagion? Ah, it seems the Hoarder stirs. Pleasant dreams, outsider.
Trespasser! Are you here to save us?
Casita, we have had this abomination before. It is the voice of the collections, the very mouth of madness.
You must be here to save us!
Does it speak sense to you?
You see, without
Silence, or be silenced!
We see back. See you. See beneath you.
The horrors of Engwith truly know no bounds.
I expected to find the jailer of this sorry institute, but it seems we've only found another prisoner.
Well, it sure don't look friendly.
You have to help! We're trapped in here! You have seen what cannot be unseen! Please, please! Just give us back up!
There is no salvation. Only plaintive cries attend this charnel pit.
Dream forever, sleeper!
Truly. That's the Titan's key. But that's... it's preposterous!
The screams have ended, but the ringing in my ear remains.
Reminds me of a wedding I went to once.
What foul magic creates a creature like that?
Why would God let this happen?
Hey, so why do I try so hard at keeping you alive if you're just going to go sticking your arm down whatever that is?
Better you than me.
Greetings, visitor. This is the Scriptorium. If you seek the Temple of Revelation, you will find it to the north.
We came for answers, not directions. Are you the abomination in charge here?
Because you must. It is entry and exit. Ask what you seek. The Scriptorium was recently breached by one of the subjects from the collections. There is nothing to be concerned about, but it might impact the demeanors of those present here. How else might I help you? Perhaps, if the wizard has procured a mask for himself, did you encounter him? I'm afraid not. The individual in question's record has been expunged. He no longer exists.
A wizard of his standing is not so easily removed from history. Much like a tumor, bits of him are no doubt everywhere.
Postenago, it doesn't work that way. Records, ledgers, all of this is just scribbles, an expression, not the thing itself.
She generally limits her excursions to the archives, though she was recently working at the Trephine. She respects our work, so the Oracle allows her limited access to the archives and Scriptorium. They have established an accord.
You hear this? Never trust an Archmage. They will conspire with anyone or anything if it serves their interests.
The Oracle of Wal. They manage the halls in the name of he who sees and is not seen. If the Oracle wishes to commune with you, they will do so. Of the Scriptorium, in a manner of speaking. Of the halls obscured? No, that would be the Oracle. I will provide what answers I can. We record what occurs within the halls. Whereas the wings contain those things redacted from the world above, the Scriptorium keeps the history of the halls themselves. The archives contain the sum whole of the historical record of Aora. both the original drafts and the edits.
Take care that you do not confuse the two. I have my doubts about the quality of a blind librarian's record-keeping.
Further, they contain a number of unusual and interesting artifacts. I believe that we are in possession of one of the warrior Riona's boots. The collections store those individuals and creatures determined to be detrimental to Aora and the work of the gods. Rather than allow the redacted materials to go to waste, we revise and anthologize, occasionally releasing amended texts. A womb, perhaps, but not the fetus. The Hand Occult no more possesses a center than Well does.
Even their organization has tentacles. No matter how many limbs we cut, there is always something unspeakable to grow in its place.
Decades. I would have to consult the records to provide a more precise answer. Her interest lay in the arcane applications of the Titan. The Oracle has determined that her studies benefit Well.
This Oracle would not have approved of Maura unless she had something to exploit.
That is hardly comforting.
How else might I help you? The Titan rests beneath the facility. Its ties to the halls obscured have grown extensive over time. Of course, as are you, as am I.
Those of us who can see where we're going have a slight advantage over you, Sere.
Hey, it's looking at me. And also at you.
Table the discussion for a second, Len. It seems the collection spat out our mutual friend in one piece. And it spat you out with company. The prisoners who survived the ordeal can start anew. Aora needs more good ideas out in the wild, don't you think?
Have you made any headway in locating our wayward archmage?
You raise an interesting point. How would you even know if the collections had gotten under your skin, huh? Can you trust anything you wrote in that journal you carry around? You know what? Ignore my ramblings. If you got it down on parchment, then I'm sure your account is verifiable.
No progress on Maura, then? Maura is tenacious and reckless. She won't hesitate to unleash horror upon the world if it would serve her purposes. And she won't stop until she's secured her goal. I encourage you to hurry.
While you were on Maura's trail, we've learned a bit more about our unusual environs.
Certainly not from exploring them himself. How much can he learn from the lobby?
A finger of the Hand Occult has kept this place going with a skeleton crew of librarians, archivists, and muscle. But they aren't the ones controlling the body. Something else is running the halls obscured independently, and doing a decent job of it.
Your definition of what constitutes decency is dubious at best.
Well, these halls are more lively than most of the abandoned sanctums I've visited. Something here is invested in maintaining old projects. Whoever they are, they haven't seen fit to show their face.
Stay on task, Tane. Regardless of how interesting this sanctum's keepers may be, Maura's whereabouts remain our chief concern. Given Maura's proclivities, your best option is likely to be...
You see, but are also seen. As is your trespass.
You think you can see us?
Ah, another involuntary invitation to another world. And I'm to assume this eyeball is to blame?
Do not listen to this walking nightmare. It is an illusion baiting us to lunge at shadows.
It is in my head! Get out, you!
What are you, interloper? You intrude upon the resting place of WoW and soil these collections with your filthy fingers. We would know. Are you one more wizard in pursuit of unearned power? Or something other? Death's touch finds no welcome in these halls.
No? Postenago, we already got a tour of the mass grave in the basement.
You have proven yourself a murderer and a thief. We cannot allow you to enter the body, nor to visit harm upon it. Your destructive trespass within these halls cannot be forgiven. Farewell. Unacceptable! You disrupt our precious library, spoil our artifacts, and yet expect release? We should... Fine! Go! We release you! Interfere no further!
What is the alternative? Staying here? I hate to say it, Kazita, but the eyeball creature might know best.
Go! Flee! Escape! Abscond! Issue forth!
You okay there? Looking a little rough around the edges.
I suppose I should have expected Wal would leave something behind to guard this place. For now, you must get to the archives. So long as Maura has free reign of this place, Aora remains in grave danger.
Freedom is long overdue for those poor wretches in the collections. Now they're leaving the nest, ripe with ideas and new potential. My little thought bombs are all grown up. The Hand Occult uses this place to rewrite history, obscure the truth, and spin fiction into reality. Now, we've turned their own weapons against them. I wrote a fringe benefit into our spell. The prisoners who knew too much might feel extra talkative once they return to society. Secrets which the Hand wanted obscured will be brought to light. All it took was sipping a few motes of power from Wal's body. Definitely not. Extremely unlikely. I suppose anything's possible.
Don't act so surprised. I did warn you.
No need to be glum. Whatever scheme the Hand Occult wanted to accomplish here, we've set it back. All kinds of secrets. Wars that should or shouldn't have started. Scandals. The kinds of things you learn from peering through the wrong keyhole. Not knowing is the real fun of the thing. Oh, would it have been more fun if you knew everything from the start? Nah. Besides, we're standing in the shadow of WoW. I don't think I could have told the whole truth if I wanted to. Occupational hazard. You should consider early retirement, hanging up the old cloak. Maybe get yourself a nice castle. Oh, right. Sorry. I found these beauties tucked away and thought you might give them a good home. There were more at first, but I lost a few to a juggling accident. I'd be surprised if most of the Hand even knows that this place exists. They want the world to think they write travel guides and circulate pamphlets of local history. It gets shady when you read past the margins. Things don't always add up. Not even the Hand could tell you which facts they edited for convenience's sake, which ones they spelled out, and which ones they spelled wrong. And this could be where it all happens. That is a head-scratcher. I suppose the solution is to be skeptical. You have to ask yourself, how much do you trust anything in a book? Does a story become more true because someone paused to write it down? I should really charge for discourse this engaging.
Postenago, you couldn't pay me to listen.
If we're to be indulging outsized egos, I'd rather listen to Isilmir's prattle.
If they ever had one, you can bet they've changed it a dozen times over the years. Anyone who wants to control information on that scale wants to engineer society. Whatever they plan on doing with that power, you can bet they'll lose control over it in the end. You don't keep something like a society constrained to just one vision.
Some speak of the Hand Occult as hyper-competent masters of four-dimensional Hazatoa, when they know of them at all. In truth, the Hand's operations are haphazard and ill-executed. We know they exist because they inevitably leave evidence of their work wherever they go. That they succeed in spite of themselves is hardly evidence of the Hand's competence.
Amateurs. Time and again, their agents showed up at my doorstep and wormed their way into my confidence, hoping to sabotage my research. I sent them home with bags of their own teeth, as a parting reminder that my time is precious and my patience thin.
Ask away. You know me, I'm an open book with plenty of pictures.
So you've freed those poor souls held captive here. Your soft heart will hurt them more than my spell ever could. What will become of them, I wonder? I doubt if Tane has any intention of providing for their care when they return to society. Well, there's no undoing what you've done. I pray the Pallid Night grants them peace when they eventually hobble through her door.
Can you make the stars right again? Would you look at that? Everything slowed down and all the noise in my head went quiet. Thank you. And thank you, friend. I have not forgotten your kindness after the circle was so cruel to me.
I gave you a cup of tea. That is no excuse to paw at me like a grateful kitten.
I must find my way to the surface, or the closest thing to it. Once I am safe, we can speak more again, Ak? Sientere, but I will answer them another time. I'm eager to fly from this cage. I will see you soon, my friend. Did you need something?
Madiko, has she lost her mind again already?
Of course, you're the one who gave me back the stars. Sientere, I'm just not myself outside of the observatory. You don't need to worry about me. Even if I might not always know your face, there's a place in my memory where the idea of you resides. If that makes sense. These two were bringing me up to speed on your unfortunate recent history. I'm sorry that the Circle didn't get involved sooner.
Just because we don't announce our actions from the roof of Kahanga Palace doesn't mean we do nothing.
Well, no one invited me to get involved in the Aothis problem. I just showed up and assumed we all had the same idea.
Before I forget, again, here, some things I picked up on my way back from the collections. It's not much, but it's all I could scrounge together. I never touch this stuff. They give me bad dreams. I lost more than my senses in this place. The collections takes everything from people. Everything that matters. You've covered a lot of ground, so it can't hurt to ask. Have you seen my grimoire?
I lost my grimoire once. Arkemir poured honey on the pages and left it on the roof for gulls to pick over. I think he was punishing me for smacking around his favorite imp.
When I got here, someone without a face ripped him out of my clutches. I've been worried sick ever since. My little book friend. We've been through a lot together, and we both have the creases to show for it. His spine is a little bent, and my index a few pages short. But together we make one half-decent wizard, huh?
Wizards and their eccentricities. Something about Arcana must drive all Keith to madness.
Do you think she's given her grimoire a name as well?
This damned prison. It took my mind, my possessions, and even my words. My grimoire and I are of a kind. We thrive on the stars, rely on them.
If you can reach the tallest point of this facility, maybe there is a window or something. Aggressima, my friend. You will know where to find me. The stars shine down on us always, but we hardly know them at all. Until we can look them in the face, they are a mystery to rival the gods. The stars remind me of my smallness in the wider world. Our wars and our bloodshed, everything which causes us to raise a blade in anger, seem insignificant when you hold them up to starlight. For me, magic is the same, humbling. We organize that power into runes and books, but even then we are only seeing the light that magic casts, not the thing itself. I suppose I'm inspired by the unbearable size and mystery of it all. It gives me hope in sad times.
I get a similar feeling after my morning tea, but you will not hear me waxing poetic about it.
We must take what hope we can when we find it.
That island lies in some disputed waters. One day, Rautai launched the colony ship to fortify the beaches, and the Valians responded in kind with a naval blockade. Onekaza held an open court to negotiate territory rights. I was the only petitioner who did not represent one of her enemies, and she thought it would be very funny if the trading companies left empty-handed. She even helped me finance the observatory and donated 10 crates full of books. We have been good friends ever since. Onekaza visits whenever she can make the time. She loves to stargaze.
Destroyer. The beginning of many a successful conversation.
Kara, where is it? I've searched every other chamber in this godforsaken isle. The sacrifice must be here. I will find it. I will satisfy their god's damn device. It will grant me access to the body. And then, it's merely a matter of adapting the summoning. The foreign god will fall, crushed by Wild's hand, by mine. And the pieces plunged into the depths. Who's there? Show yourself!
Hello again, Maura.
You're one to talk. For me, it was always about Maura. The fringe benefits were secondary, at best.
Yet the deeper we delve into the Hall's obscured, the more your motives unravel.
Better break this up. It can only get ugly. Uglier.
Tane, I believe you were about to call me irresponsible, or was it greedy? Remind me.
I came here to pull Maura, our friend, out of a bad situation. At first, I assumed that you had showed up for the same reason, but I won't make that mistake again. Now I know better. You're just as petty and self-interested as anyone in the Circle.
Your sudden sanctimony is curious. We still don't know what's happened to Maura, but you seem more interested in the halls than you are in her fate. Unless rescuing Maura was never your goal. Perhaps your motives and hers are more closely aligned than you led me and the Watcher to believe.
Apologies, Watcher. These are Circle problems, and they'll be kept between Circle wizards for the moment. You should have gotten the lay of the land by now. Any news on Maura?
Damn it. From what we've seen of this place, I suppose that shouldn't be surprising. I pray her return to the wheel was swift, at least. But, gods, what a miserable way to end one's life. How could this have happened? Fionlege? Is this another agent of WoW?
Len, we should invite him into the Circle. It's lonely being the only free thinker with bold, terrible ideas.
This is really not the time, Tane. Whatever this Fionlege wants, his intentions aren't good. We cannot allow Wel's Titan body to live. It's simply too dangerous a temptation. We must destroy it.
The only thing you'd be destroying is opportunity. Did it never occur to you that maybe WoW wanted his body to be found so that it could help those of us with the imagination to use it? As cruel as this Sanctum can be, I have a soft spot for that old bucket of eyeballs. I wouldn't want to disappoint our host by leaving empty-handed. Len, it sounds like the Watcher has heard enough from you and me. We'd only hurt our cause by pressing the matter.
Don't let Tane manipulate you to further his own impulsive, foolishly optimistic ends.
Foolish optimism has never failed me in the past. At least my plan keeps things interesting.
My plan keeps us alive.
I remember you. Thank you for coming back to me. And thank you, Watcher. Now I have 2 friends, and I feel richer than ever.
You are lucky. The Watcher is a very good friend to have if you can only have 2.
This is it. Now I remember how I got involved in this mess. I was searching for a celestial catalyst.
I believe she refers to the metal born of falling stars. It's supposedly charged with arcane energy and, by all accounts, exceedingly difficult to come by.
Ak, he has the right of it. I have been researching the properties of wayward stars. If my findings pan out, a piece of one may be the last component I need to scribe my first spell. That, and my book friend here. I know that a star fell on the Black Isles recently. A brilliant purple rock streaked across the sky and landed in this area. The only trick is finding it. Once I have the metal and complete my spell, I'll see to it that you are the second person in all the world to wield its power.
If you had started your tale by explaining how it would benefit us, we would have agreed to it by now.
There is much left unanswered about their power. Stars do not visit the Auror very often. For that reason alone, not many wizards bother to study them. I am just one wizard with a telescope, but I have speculated that there is life among the stars, and its energy reaches out to us from time to time. The hall is obscured like a magpie on the hunt for shiny things. We are more likely to find the celestial catalyst here than anywhere else in the archipelago. Knowing the Circle, it will not be so simple. It could take years. Even Consulhoth had to fight for his acceptance.
Save your breath, my dear. The Circle is nothing but a gathering of old crooks dodging taxes by posturing that they care for some nebulous, unachievable greater good.
All the same, I am determined to try. Then we are well paired. Agrasima, Watcher. The keepers of this prison might not permit you to take the star metal. If you must harm someone to claim it, make it quick. Ak? I spotted a shooting star in the skies over the Black Isles. So brilliant and bright. I sent mercenaries to find it, but heard nothing back for some time. Weeks later, their leader reported back to the observatory, but he was wrong on the inside. Like his mind was not his own. I blasted him with everything I had, but he dragged me screaming into that prison. There was something about my research the Hand Occult wanted to hide. They never told me what it was. Sad to say that difficulties of the mind are nothing new for me. Some months ago, a spell backfired, and I need a little help to recall myself from time to time. But that shrieking from the collections, that was different. It wipes you clean. Whole days passed where it took everything I had just to remember to breathe. I think my accident was the only reason I had any mind left to recover. There was some part of me up here that the screams never reached. The collections must have claimed the mercenaries. More test subjects for their vile experiments. Every day the keepers threw more bodies down into the pit, or fed them alive and screaming to the worm dog. Ask away, amico. I have no urgent plans.
What you want, Groundstink? Got something you want to forget, huh? Want to escape? Go live in dreams? New drugs ready for sampling. Sleep well, idiot.
I don't know how her dragons have the patience. Len and I have our disagreements from time to time. I guess that's to be expected wherever the circle is concerned. Hey, you've done some good work by us. Kept yourself busy. Don't you worry about Len. We'll have our differences sorted out in no time, and we'll be the best of pals. That's a guarantee from Tane.
I must focus on the task at hand. What a curious tome. May I see it? I'll be but a moment. Intriguing. I can't tell if this is a bit of Hand Occult chicanery or something more enticing. Did it now? That's very curious indeed. You're not attempting to deceive me, then? You're serious? I've just had a distressing thought. Could it be that a shard of the essence of my mentor, of his memories, is held captive in this book? This may explain... Keenly observed. Indeed, you're correct. Lengrath is more than a title. It's a communion going back to the first Lengrath. Well, it used to be. It hasn't been for some time. This must be why. Wal, or their agents, must have stolen the memories of the first Lengrath and stored them here, in this accursed library. To what end? I shudder to imagine. If this is true, then I must have those missing memories. And like as not, they're all cataloged in the same way, in books like the one you hold. Wal may appear mercurial and capricious, but there's a certain logic to their actions, if you consider their goals. To be an archmage is to drink deeply and constantly from a font of dangerous knowledge. Knowledge a god of secrets might find useful. Or threatening. If you do as I say, I'll owe you a boon. An equal exchange. Tread cautiously. This place is no doubt full of unseen hazards.
Always nice to see a friendly face, even if it doesn't have any skin on it.
I despise you, Tane. If I had hands, I would wring your scrawny neck. That goes for everyone in earshot. What a filthy, disorganized hovel. You have no basis on which to judge me, simpleton. I've seen what you carry. Ugh. I have forgotten how much I detest mortal company. The stench alone is unbearable. We have nothing to discuss, you insipid pustule. I have found more competent sea captains floating face down in watery graves. What would you like to know? It will swallow you like a piece of half-chewed gristle, depositing you where you belong atop a divine dung heap. Beyond that, I know little.
Would you look at that? Consul Hot, the All-Knowing, finds a blind spot in his education.
Underestimating me would be your greatest mistake, apprentice. One that I will not stop you from making. Our mission? If you presume to imagine that we have similar goals, allow me to correct your catastrophic error in judgment.
Oh, fantastic. You've wound him up again.
We have only one thing in common. We both want you to die. I am indifferent to your existence, but you clearly desire a worthy end. Isn't it obvious? The way you launch yourself into peril at every turn? These are the actions of one who has lived too long, wandered too far, and willingly climbs to the precipice of oblivion. Self-annihilation is the most natural ambition a sentient mind can achieve. And when you find yours, I will be there to cheer you on. I will be listening, Watcher. I always am. And when my time comes, you will pray for the indignity of bobbing in my shadow. No, yours will be a more horrible fate. That is a promise.
I miss that guy. It's not like that. We're good friends. We just disagree on everything.
Your chaotic orb is amateurish folly. Any half-wit can lose control of a spell and be delighted by its unpredictable consequences. Your career should have been consigned to the waste bin of history before it even began.
That's our console hot, right? You old trickster.
Must focus on the task at hand. You found them all! On in one volume, too! What a weight that is off my mind! I know they're little more than trinkets after the gift you've given me. But please, take these.
I'd love to join you in that wet, fleshy cistern of nightmares, but yeah, see, I've got archmage things to do. I'm apprehensive. Standing on the precipice of the unknown, it's like I'm casting the first chaotic orb all over again, and I don't know if it's gonna work or make a bunch of snakes appear. Oh well, there's a first time for everything. What a beauty. You probably don't need an earful of my worries. I'll keep them to myself.
Blocked the god form's ducts and descended into the chambers below.
We must follow. The body would not harm those who care for it.
The body is not responsible for this wizardry. Return from the canal is recommended.
I recognize this. Star metal. Arkemir had a few samples lying around, though they did not glow as brightly as this one. He shunned celestial research, tossed out any studies of the sky that crossed his desk. But it wasn't doubt or disagreement that irked him. No, he acted like he was afraid of something.
Remember you. This is the one.
I didn't see you cast any spell. How could you even know this?
Stand back, Watcher. I have waited so long for this moment. Not even gratitude will slow me down. A moment, Watcher. I doubt I could forget the words if I lived to be 1,000, but let me write them down where they belong.
The Circle doesn't deserve talent like hers.
There. Bekarna's midnight daydream. Not a bad ring to it, huh? Keep this as a memento, my friend. A nice statement piece for the dinner table. That hum of power is relaxing in the palm of your hand, no?
You scribed a new spell? Right there on the spot?
I had an early draft prepared already, but it was missing a little something. It channels starlight into a living ball, inspiring and motivating all that it touches before dispersing back into the ether. As spells go, it is a little tough to control. But maybe not bad for a first start. I feel as if I have climbed a long and winding staircase, opened the door at the top, and found a polished spyglass waiting for me. Now I have the entire sky to still explore. I do not know what comes next, but I am pleased to have come this far, especially with good company. For now, I want to spend some time with my book and my observatory. And a well-deserved cup of tea. Before you go, a parting gift. You have done enough for me that I owe you more than a roll of parchment. I happened upon this friendly-looking book while you were out looking for the star metal. And here there is a blank page, like it was waiting for us. May you do great things with it. Thanks to you, I have remembered much, and learned more than I could ever forget. A Grasimer Watcher. This would have been extremely unlikely without good friends.
You give us too much credit for something you figured out alone. Bask in that achievement and let me know how it feels, Ak.
There we are, friend. Open up now and receive me. Watcher of Cadnua, Herald of Bereth, Dusk Speaker. I'm afraid that we, that I cannot allow you to interfere. We've come entirely too close to turn away now. I was forgetting myself long before I entered the Titan. But through the Titan, I can restore me. Communion. All of the knowledge in these halls, all of the memories, it all descends, flowing into this titanic form. The me, too, that we were before. I feel it there, pulsing like a heart. It's your story that ends here, I'm afraid. And none shall remember it. You recall everything. Everything we've ever known. Everything we've never known. You recall young Fionledge, promising apprentice of the Seathwood. Indomitable Fionledge, the Arcane Knight. Fionledge the Unspoiled, Archmage of the Circle. Fionledge, Wake of the Hand Occult. All knew us for the spells that bore our name, if nothing else. Fionledge's Wall of Flames, Fionledge's Wall of Many Colors, Fionledge's pristine barrier.
His transformation has done little for his stability of mind.
Perfetto. Now he's upset as well as unstable.
I joined the Hand Occult. Served well, faithfully, and became initiated into ever deeper circles of revelation. They appointed me Wake, the High Magician, Seer, and Arcanist. That's when I uncovered the truth. You hold it too. We see it. The secret shining in your mind. The great lie. A star set within a blank firmament. We will not be silenced. Well will not bury us as they did the ones who came before. You don't believe the Engwithans were first, do you? Or alone? You already know of the Huana. There were others.
Watcher, do you think he means...
Shush, Rekka. Now is not the time.
Engwith established global influence, not eternal dominion. We cannot allow your egress. Too many secrets taint you as they tainted Fionledge. You must be purified.
Interloper, your presence blights. You disease. Interloper.
Now is not the time for your insufferable compassion, Kasita. Kill it, or we're next.
Clemency. Hardly yours to offer. Purify. Everything in its place.
Oh, hello. We didn't see you there. We recognize you. Barrett's Herald, if we're not mistaken. Oh, so many things, Herald. Love, happiness, an infinitely malleable and surprising cosmos in which nothing can be taken for granted as stable or reliable. The usual. It's strange, though. We find that we were just not thinking about you for the first time in, well, in some time. Where exactly might you be? How delightfully suggestive. We don't suppose you would care to, clarify? Oh, that does not seem at all correct. We are quite certain, or fairly certain at least, moderately certain, certainly, that we killed our terrestrial body just as we promised we would. Not that we're above the occasional bent truth, but we don't recall not killing our body, and that really seems the sort of thing that we'd remember. Indeed. We do have fun, don't we, Harold? But we were discussing our body and your preposterous claim to lurk within it. An interesting interpretation of events. Entirely wrong, though. We wonder if the Lady of Lament may be having a spot of fun with us. We didn't think the old fish had it in her. Absence of evidence provides no evidence of absence. No, this hardly seems her style. We suspect she'd have simply sent this place to the bottom of the sea. Perhaps, though, no, surely not. But what if? Well, it certainly would delight us. Perhaps, dear Harold, we hid our body from ourselves. How terribly perverse of us. And thoroughly irresponsible. When we hide something from ourselves, we hide it from the world. The world forgets about it. It forgets about itself. And how are you feeling, dear Harold of Bareth? But now we're left with a conundrum. What to do? What to do with this overgrown sack of me? That's so charmingly naive, Harold. You don't truly believe that, do you? No, we think we'll simply forget about it again. That seemed to be working well enough. Yes, but how often does history repeat itself? Don't answer that. We did rather make a mess of things, didn't we? Andra did, rather. And Abidan. Wurga helped. And don't get us started on Remergund. Then there's the whole Aothas affair. Oh, yes. The oracle through whom you commune with us serves as the body's brain, so to speak. Slay it when you return, and all will unfold as you dictated.
I'm glad to see you return to us with all your faculties intact.
The eyeball has been watching you this whole time. I think it winked at me.
I thought about stabbing it in, well, the eye, I guess, while you were taking that nap, but... Well, what if you were inside it or something?
You communed with the obscured. I refuse!
You're back! And a bit more alive than I anticipated. You've got some gore on you. It's just awful. Really, here, let me help. Really? You know, I wasn't jealous until just now.
Welcome back. You've returned in one piece. Do you hear that? Silence. Beautiful silence. Wal's Titan form is dead, and it's your doing. We no longer need fear whatever destruction it may have rained upon Aora. Well done.
I'll miss it. The shadow of Wal's horrible body has been like a second home. We could have learned so much. Now we're leaving it to rot. I'm sure you're right. As always. Just need some time with my grief.
What do you plan to do next?
Watcher! Shush!
Enjoy yourself. You deserve a reprieve, whatever comes after this. If we don't see each other again, take care. Meeting you was a unique pleasure I won't soon forget.
Thanks for circling back, Watcher. Glad we get this little, moment to ourselves. What you did wasn't what I wanted for Wild's body, but at least you acted on what you thought was right. Plenty of people in this rotten world can't even figure that out. You did good out there. Hope you realize that. Look at me getting all sentimental again. You need anything from your friend Tane, you just ask.
Once again, circumstances conspire to place you at the vanguard of important decisions, huh? Now that Wild's body is dead, we've rid ourselves of a sleeping tentacle god. Clearly you've learned your lesson at Kadnur. Maybe it isn't what I would have done, but you did pretty good. It is possible. Much of my education has been less than straightforward. If anything, accompanying you has been worth 10 apprenticeships. Bekana taught me that I should not wait for anyone's approval before chasing my dreams. From Tane, I learned that our memories define us, no matter where they come from. Lengrath showed me how there is no end to what we can learn about ourselves. The Spore Colony taught me that... No, I cannot begin to discuss it. That creature was disgusting. I learned from your example that a safe choice is preferable to living with uncertainty. You've given me a lot to consider. That much is beyond doubt. When it comes to educating myself, I am like a rodent. I can make a nest out of anything around me. We are not here to delight each other with empty pleasantries. Unless I am mistaken, you have a god to catch, trading companies to pit against each other, and an archipelago to pacify. No pressure, Casita. Here you make a compelling point. If I must choose between unending drudgery and a certain, if interesting, death, I might just pick death. Ekosi if I don't leave an optimistic impression. I am glad to have come this far with you, Casita. Our chances of survival are as high as they are ever likely to be. May that give us the courage we need to take the next step forward.
A different storm. A bigger one. I am afraid we will all be swept away. You do not know Yezua. I hope you do not have to. But I fear that you will. What happens after is in God's hands. But now I would stay with you. If you will have me. Oh. Thank you.